Affordable housing continues to be a huge problem in the United States. In fact, in a lot of metropolitan areas, including Los Angeles and New York, homelessness is at record levels because it's incredibly expensive to find a place where people can pay rent. So Ben Carson, who is the head or the secretary of the Housing and Urban Development, has an interesting proposal. Now, his proposal is in response to pressure from Donald Trump to save money in government programs. And so Carson is gonna make it a lot more expensive for underprivileged people to pay their rent. According to reports, he wants to make changes to federal housing subsidies, tripling rent for the poorest households and making it easier for housing authorities to impose work requirements. Now, this is all part of the Trump administration's welfare reform 2.0. which we should have all expected, because when the Trump administration and Republicans slash taxes for the wealthiest earners in the country, how do you think they're gonna make up for that revenue? They're gonna cut services for the poor. In fact, those very tax cuts will cost us, what was it? $2.3 trillion, $2.3 trillion in 10 years. So again, what are they gonna do? They're gonna try to save money by cutting programs that help the needy. Now, Carson's proposal would raise the rent for tenants in subsidized housing to 35% of gross income, or 35% of their earnings working 15 hours a week at the federal minimum wage, up from the current standard of 30% of adjusted income. About half of the 4.7 million families receiving housing benefits would be affected. Now, just to give you some specific numbers, and keep in mind, these are people living in extreme poverty. The cap on rent for the poorest families would rise to about $150 a month, and that's 3 times higher than the existing $50 ceiling. Now, if that seems like it's not much money to you, I understand, but you're not living in extreme poverty with children living in your household. So HUD wants to scrap rules allowing deductions for medical and childcare costs when determining rent, which Carson said gave some tenants an unfair advantage. Currently, 15 out of 3,100 housing authorities across the country require some sort of work or job training in return for these benefits. Now, here's the part that really stood out to me, and I just don't really understand. First of all, think about the fact that we're losing $2.3 trillion just by giving tax cuts to the wealthy. To give you another insane number, the 6 biggest banks saved $3 billion, about $3.1 billion in the first quarter of this year from Trump's tax cuts. Remember when he said that he was gonna close loopholes and simplify the tax system? He didn't close any of the loopholes, all he did was slash taxes for the wealthy. And we are losing money as a result. And now we're focusing on taking money away, government programs away from people who desperately need them. Okay, so let's get to the part that I just don't understand. Now, seniors over the age of 65 and individuals with disabilities would be exempt from the rental increases, but only for the first 6 years. Okay, so let's stop for a second. Only for the first 6 years, because if you're elderly after 6 years, you're not elderly anymore. And if you're disabled after 6 years, you're not disabled anymore. I mean, in some cases that might be true for people who are temporarily disabled, but I don't understand the 6-year limit. So what happens after 6 years? Does the federal government give them the middle finger and tell them, well, go figure it out for yourself now? It's ridiculous.
I think the whole thing is, it's obscene because it's done, as Anna says, against the backdrop of having given corporate welfare on a record level, such that they now have to find a way to get back that money somehow. But the other reason it's particularly destructive is because it does target those who need help the most. And Anna mentioned that people are living often on a subsistence wage. That's how they even qualify for this low-cost housing. And so any even incremental change in these numbers monthly can leave them in serious, serious problems.
The federal government has spent way more money on Trump's travels to Mar-a-Lago than helping our own. I don't want my taxpayer money to go toward that clown so he can travel and vacation in Mar-a-Lago. I don't want that. I would much rather have my taxpayer money take care of those who absolutely need it, those who are living out on the streets, those who have families that they can't provide for. I just don't understand how easily, the federal government under the Trump administration has deceived the American people into thinking that the poor is the enemy. Because that's exactly what's happening here.
No, they're hemorrhaging money in the ways that you're talking about when it comes to going to Mar-a-Lago. Scott Pruitt is now answering questions about all the way that he spends taxpayer money with additional security details. And Ben Carson, who you see behind me, he's got the $130,000 cabinetry that he wants for his office.
You just brought up such a great point. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but homeboy over here, right? Like, he has no problem spending an insane amount of money on a dining room table. But now you're having a conversation about cutting benefits for the poor?
It's obscene. I mean, really, that's the word that just comes to mind. It's just obscene. You're incorrigible. How can you get away with this? So again, they're just on a spending spree when it comes to their own personal comforts and spending federal dollars for things that have nothing to do with improving working class American situations. And then when it comes to the people who need it the most, Americans who are living on a subsistence wage, they're talking about implementing this terrible policy. It's offensive. It's just offensive.
It really is. And it not only impacts HUD, it also impacts food stamp programs. It also impacts Medicare. I'll give you an example. Trump also gave states permission to impose much higher premium payments and kick people off of Medicaid if they failed to pay those higher premiums.
This is because he couldn't successfully undermine Obamacare.
That's right.
And so these are all ways that he is taking other shots at it. And it should come as no surprise to anyone. This privatization, it's what they're looking at. He's looked at privatizing everything. He wanted to privatize the post office, the air traffic controllers. He came in on day one and he's going, hey, my buddies, they can do all of this better than any of you guys. And the truth is that businessmen, and you heard this in the run-up to the election, he's a businessman and he's done well. Of course, that turned out to be completely a fraud. But businessmen aren't necessarily good in running a government because a government isn't always running at a profit. Every endeavor associated with Washington policies isn't associated with making money. We try to take care of the citizenry associated with these policies.
Well, in theory.
Right.
But more often than not, we are much more willing to spend an insane amount of our resources in bombing other countries, paying weapons manufacturers, paying private contractors, giving insane contracts to private prisons. That's where our money goes. That's where the majority of our money goes. It doesn't go toward taking care of our own, making sure that our kids are educated, making sure that people have affordable health care. Those are not issues that our politicians genuinely care about. We might have one party that cares a little more, but the administration that we have right now does not care at all. And it's incredibly insulting considering the fact that he paraded around as someone who would take care of the needy, who would look out for those in middle America who were abandoned economically speaking. He is not looking out for them, and I hope at some point they realize that, rise up and demand more from our politicians.
If you become a member of the Young Turks, you'll be saying,
I'm like a smart person.
So do it right now, tytnetwork.com/join. Get the whole Young Turks show every day.